What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to give you guys the best 15 brawlers to max out right now for this season, whether it be ranked, whether it be ladder. These are going to be the same meta brawlers for at least 2 weeks, maybe even longer, so you can be safe in maxing out a lot of these brawlers. And the meta has shifted quite a fair bit, so I think this is a good change from the previous max out videos that I have done. So let's just start off the list with, I'll say, a bit of a controversial brawler. It is Ali. So Ali is very misunderstood in this meta, so I will say it is a bit of a learning curve with Ali, and you do have to have a lot of discipline because of her slow reload speed. But trust me, I think she is one of the best gem grab brawlers absolutely right now, with the meta very favoring her. She's not going to be this like explosive brawler that can just completely team wipe and carry, but in 1v1 interactions she's very, very strong. It's all about getting a lot of pressure with Ali, and I think her enrage feature is so incredibly broken. You pair that with her super, and you got to make sure that you're landing your first attack after your super, because of course that's where the extra damage comes from, and you can free tap so many brawlers inside of the game. So I think Ali, in my previous video, I said it was one of the most underrated brawlers in the game. I think absolutely so. I think people will catch up on the Ali train. I think she's really good. Before we get into the video, I just want to bring to your attention the amazing Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. The Z Fold 7 manages to amaze me every single time I use it. With its ultra thin and light design, it literally defies all expectations, because whilst it's ultra thin and light, it also is as wide as ever. Just look at that, it's insane. So whether you want to fold the device and use it as a more traditional phone, like making phone calls, scrolling through Twitter, whatever, or you can use the amazing 6.5 inch bigger than ever wide display, and I like to use it for Brawl Stars, YouTube. Those are my favorite use cases, but it's just insane the versatility of this device. Well, you might think, what's the drawback of the Z Fold 7? You might think it might become bulky, considering you have to fold the device and put it inside of your pocket, but like I mentioned, the device is super thin and really comfortable, especially in comparison to other phones. After testing it out myself, after placing it in my pocket, you know, just holding the device, it seriously is even thinner than just standard phones without the folding, which is just absolutely insane. Look at it folded up, it's still ultra thin, and this is thinner than most devices out there. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 also has a beast of a processor, the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. It has all the power you need and more, so whether you're in intense gaming sessions or just for everyday use, it makes everything smoother and much faster. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to check out the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 using the link in the description below. You'll be making everybody jealous with this device. And of course, a big shout out to Samsung for sponsoring today's video. Next brawler you must absolutely max out for this season has to be Meeple. So Meeple has just came from nowhere in this meta. In the previous one with all the broken hypercharges, he was like a C-tier brawler because he just couldn't defend himself, but now Meeple's broken hypercharge, even after a slight nerf, is probably the best brawler inside of the game. Meeple can just do it all. The reason why Meeple's so good is because Meeple's damage is so consistent. Meeple's super is very, very good and very annoying to deal with. Both of Meeple's gadgets are insane, whether it's the rage quit one to defend himself against any type of aggro brawler, whether it's the dice one, which is really good when you lack range on a certain map, where you can just throw the dice gadget. It's probably the best gadget inside of a game. Pair it with super, the enemies can't do anything. So this meta just really favors Meeple. Not a lot of aggressive brawlers, and hence why Meeple is easily the best brawler in the game. Next up on the must max out list, I've gone with Ruffs. So Ruffs, I was a little bit on the fence as to say whether he'd still be good in this meta, because a lot of it in the previous one was thanks to his hypercharge and the broken hypercharge brawlers. So you could constantly just feed those hypercharge treats to you know, Kenji, etc. But he's still easily an S-tier brawler inside the game. He's like the most used brawler in scrims right now, which is just insane. And that's just thanks to his versatility, but his main attack projectile speed, that buff was insane. It basically just means you're just consistently dealing damage output, getting damage output, you're consistently getting supers, you're breaking open the map, your teammates are consistently getting treats, they're getting the buffs. It's just insane. Ruffs can be played everywhere, and even if you try and counter a Ruff, so like with anything aggressive, etc., you've really just feeding into him. You're just going to give him more supers and more hypercharges. There are also a couple of brawlers in the meta that are literally that much better because they counter Ruffs. So for example, like Ali, you know, if someone drafts Ruffs, just go Ali and you should be able to counter him for the most part. So yeah, Ruffs is easily in pro play, one of the best brawlers in the game, and people just don't realize because he's actually one of the least played brawlers in the overall game. So yeah, just make sure you max out Ruffs and try him because he actually is really good. The next brawler you must absolutely max out in this meta has to be Kaze. So Kaze is still the second most used brawler in scrims right now. I can definitely feel the nerf though with Kaze in gamers like Bounty or Knockout with the invisibility. It's a little bit harder to like catch opponents off guard, but her ninja super and ninja form is still really good and pretty unpredictable for the most part. And Kaze is a very high skill cap brawler. Like, only pros can really make her work truly, but I think if you want to like learn how to play Kaze, I've got a guide out there, or just watch a lot of competitive content, scrims, whatever. There's a lot of content on YouTube right now regarding that, and you'll soon learn how to play Kaze. So yeah, I just think she's so versatile, and just mechanically 2 brawlers in 1 is always going to be a broken feature. She's still S tier easily. The next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Mo. So Mo has been running rampant inside of ranks right now, and that is just thanks to a lot of brawlers in and around him just getting worse. And Mo in ranked is just insanely versatile. So there's a few times you can switch out both his star powers. One star power will give you that extra bit of damage, and the other star power will actually give you extra range, fully enough. So between the two, you can just change depending on the matchup. But Mo's really good because he's just kind of good into everything. You can wall peek a lot of brawlers. His damage output sometimes can be inconsistent, but a lot of the time it's mostly great. The biggest weakness to him is his supercharge rate in a few interactions, but his gadget really helps with that. So his super is very, very strong, especially against a lot of control brawlers, and his hype charge is one of the best hype charges in the game, if not the best. It's just insane, and you literally can't stop it. So Mo is easily one of the best brawlers inside of the pro meta. This brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Juju. So I've said it enough times now. I put Juju in a C tier, okay? I apologized about a million times, okay? Sometimes I can be wrong, and that was very early in the meta, okay? Juju just kind of came out of nowhere to me because she was literally unusable in the hype charge meta, because that was probably because of kits, Kenjis, etc. And people just didn't really know her true power with the hype charge. Well, now she has by far the highest win rate in scrims. She's one of the most used brawlers. She's so versatile, and it's all thanks to her hype charge. So people are using Juju's hype charge wrong, and even Drage, told me that, because I was still like, is Juju really that good? Well, you need to pair it with her slowing star power, and because of how fast it is and how big the needle is and how easy it is to hit, literally it can just chain slow so quickly, and you just burst through people like crazy. So even if you're facing it off against counters, they're still feeding your hypercharge, and that's the main reason. So there's only a few good hypercharge brawlers left in the game, and Juju's definitely one of them. So you can get your hypercharge pretty quick. It's Juju. She's super versatile. She's really good in Bounty, Knockout. Any map with a lot of grass, she can be really sneaky with her invisibility. She's definitely back in the meta, and she's definitely S tier. But next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Hank. So I wonder how many times I've recommended to max out Hank since he got some big buffs in the past. I think for the entire year he's been meta, but he still is meta, and it's quite hilarious to me that people are underrating Hank, again putting Hank in like the B tier or even lower in tier list, which is crazy because he is a high A tier brawler, if not S tier brawler right now, because the brawlers in and around him receiving nerfs. In a control meta, that makes Hank even better, because you think about it, all of these control brawlers a lot of the time have low damage. Well, Hank is super tanky. He's got a shield gadget. He's just suffocates opponents with the 4.2k shield. However much damage it deals, it's insane. And he can just overwhelm people easily. His super heals for a lot. His hype charge is easy to charge up. He's super versatile. He pairs with a lot of the meta brawlers right now. He's just really good. And in scrims, he's a top 4 used brawler. So, yeah, the pros play him. He's still insane. Just play Hank. Brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Otis. And Otis is easily an S-tier brawler in the game. And that's thanks to his damage. So his damage is 1,000 per projectile, which is absolutely insane. This makes him such a strong and versatile brawler. So it might be a little bit boring to most people, but it doesn't matter. When he's this powerful, just use him and abuse him as much as possible. He's like the 10 most picked brawler in scrims. I think it should be actually higher. I think pros are even underrating him a little bit here, because Otis is like one of the best brawlers inside of a gem grab. He shuts down everything on bushy maps as well. His gadget's really good for zoning. Vision gear popped on him, it's just insane. Brawl, he's one of the best defenders. He's absolutely insane and very usable pretty much everywhere. Heist, he's one of the best defenders on maps like Hot Potato, for example. I just think Otis can do a lot, and he surprisingly outranges a lot of meta brawlers. So yeah, it's purely the damage, though. The damage is insane. The next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Byron. So Byron, still after the hype charge nerf, is one of the best brawlers inside of the game easily. So I was a bit apprehensive. I don't think I put him in a top 10 brawler list, but he was in and around there. But I still probably think he's a top 10 brawler right now. That is just thanks to how fast his super charges. It's a very control meta, so Byron just naturally is a bit better because assassins are the brawlers that normally counter Byron, so they can be safe in a control meta. His hype charge is still fast charging, and it's still pretty good because for the most part, you're going to be able to get within striking distance to benefit from the extra projectiles or the extra bit of damage, whatever. It's still a really, really hard brawler to counter. And it's the fact that his main attack projectile is just so easy to hit. So, yeah, I think that Byron is definitely still in the meta. Next probably must absolutely max out has to be Mina. So I don't think I really need to explain too much about Mina. She received a couple more nerfs, and she's still one of the best brawlers, if not the best brawler inside of the game. In terms of pro scrims, she's pretty much getting banned everywhere because she's just too versatile. And with her basic attack, she can just create so much pressure. She's got 2 really good gadgets. Her super is very, very strong, and she's just really hard to stop. So Mina is just an absolute menace in the right hands. She's easily top 5. Next probably must absolutely max out for this season has to be Finks. So Finks received a couple of nerfs, but he's still the best brawler inside of Hot Zone, absolutely. I will say his downward trend a little bit in the meta thanks to the control meta, but I still think he's a very versatile brawler. You can still play him as like a mid inside of Gem Grab. You can still play him as a lane on multiple of the bushier maps, and he's like the best brawler for whatever reason on Kaboom Canyon, which is just absolutely hilarious. So Finks is very good into a lot of different things. He's got a really good gadget and of course one of the best supers inside of the game, so that makes Finks such a strong brawler. Next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Lily. So I think Lily is the most annoying brawler in the meta right now. I'm seeing everybody complain about her. She's not like an S-tier brawler in the meta, but she does have a few really annoying mechanics, which one of them of course being her Vanish gadget. Vanish gadget is such a broken mechanic, and it just makes her very annoying to deal with. She's one of the best brawlers inside of Gem Grab, and just very cheesy in multiple game modes like Bounty. Any squishy composition she can definitely feast on. Her hype charge is very fast charging and still really powerful, and she's still being played I'd say in the top 20 in terms of pick rate, in terms of scrims. So Lily's easily one of the best brawlers. The next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Gus. So Gus is always at the top in terms of data. When I take a look at him, he's in like the top 10 in terms of picks, and his win rate is always pretty good. But with Gus, he's such a simple brawler. It's really easy brawler to hit in terms of his main attack. He's got a great super that can help defend himself, pairs really well with aggressive brawlers, and he's one of those safe, secure options where I think in a non-aggressive meta, it's actually just, there's hardly anyone that's really good into him. Like, there's only a handful of brawlers that really, truly counter him, like Ash, and yeah, Gusty can go everywhere as a mid inside of Gem Grab, Knockout, Bounty. He's just so solid in a lot of different environments. But next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Pam. So no joke here, no memes either. Pam, I would say, is easily an A-tier brawler inside of the meta. When used correctly, Pam is an absolute menace. So Pam, thanks to just a lot of meta brawlers shifting, there's not a lot of like completely broken hypercharges in the game, so she can deal with a lot of meta brawlers. But Pam, the reason why she's so good is because she's one of the best mids inside of Gem Grab, and she's one of the best brawlers, if not the best brawler inside of Hot Zone. She's just so good because of her hypercharge and her overall sustain. She's always been really good with her mythic gear, just being able to heal up a lot. Her scrap sucker gadget is good for defending herself, and I just think mainly it's Hot Zone. Hot Zone is just her bread and butter. With the hypercharge, you can just infinitely stay alive on top of the zone. She's so annoying to deal with. The turret buff as well has really helped her, and in terms of scrim, she's in the top 15 pick rate. So yeah, the pros are liking her. I'm watching a lot of pros play her in like double swoosh, actually a decent one, but I'm saying like dueling beetles and those type of Hot Zone maps. This meta's just perfect for her. Last brawler on the list is Crow. So Crow's always at the top in terms of scrim data, like top 10 or whatever, because he's just such a versatile brawler. He's one of the best brawlers inside of Heist still, because you can guarantee to get a Heist shield down. He's great inside of Gem Grab. You play him as a mid or a lane. He's just good into a lot of different things. Good at scouting on those bushier maps. And it's the fact that there's hardly any like true counters to Crow out there really in the meta, thanks to just that health buff he received. He's still a pretty tanky brawler for what he is, right? And he gets extra tankiness thanks to his extra toxic star power. Also the shield gadget as well, making him a really hard brawler to deal with. But overall, it's just because he's annoying against loads of different compositions, and he's like a good soft counter to brawlers like Byron, Pam, any type of healing. can be pretty good there. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. So a lot of, I think, shifts in the meta. Finally, like, this video feels great to put out because there's a lot of brawlers that have changed, and I anticipate this meta staying the same for probably 3 weeks at least here. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.